And hello, what is up, everyone? This is FSP, that's Fun Speculation Podcast, episode 115. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting week because we have a PS5 Pro announcement happening from the very entertaining Mark Cerny tomorrow. I am thrilled to be listening to 9 minutes of his slideshow, whatever it is he does tomorrow. It should be great for that. But also, it is kind of exciting to see new hardware. Anytime there's new hardware, whether it's a mid-gen refresh or if it's a new console or if it's a new handheld or whatever, it's just always kind of cool. And I'm curious what other kind of things we're going to get from that. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Some GTA stuff out there. Gonna go on a little bit of a rant about customer service and gaming. What has happened to the customer service with game publishers and all that kind of stuff as well. But also Warhammer. I mean, there's amazing stuff to talk about, lots of stuff, and we're gonna get into it because we have an awesome panel as always. The one and only Fuzzy Belvedere is here to join us as usual. What's up, Fuzz?
Up, everyone? Glad to be here. Man, it's been weird on Twitter with people extremely excited about a game, and I don't want to hear anybody say anything bad about that game, but they say bad stuff about other games that people like, and Grand Theft Auto could be delayed. Pretty sure we'll get into it, but I don't know. Just been enjoying a lot of State of Decay 2. Just decided to revisit a game. Wanted to kill some zombies. Been watching some zombie flicks, so been having fun.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Astrobot. So, like, here's I think some people think I've been critical on Astrobot, which I haven't said anything negative about. I actually think it's probably an amazing platform. I haven't played it yet, and I think it's probably one of the better platformers this generation and all that kind of stuff. But all of our conversations, for the most part, we're talking about how the gaming media and the industry kind of like pick certain genres and all this kind of stuff to kind of hold above the rest. And while there's other great games and other kind of genres that just don't quite get the same kind of attention that I wish they would, because they deserve to be kind of highlighted as well. And there's been like so much discourse with Astrobot. It's like some are like praising it so much that they can't stand if anybody says anything negative or says, oh, it's just whatever, right? And then there's also have the other side where people are trying to say it can't be good. It's like, it doesn't matter because it's a kiddie game and all this other kind of stuff. And it's all these other kind of nonsense either, which like neither of those things are true. It's either you like the game or you're not interested in the game, or you played and you don't like the game, and everybody has equal right to feel about it how they want. But like, this game has been used for that console war thing more than any other, where you have some people that have been out there so critical about Xbox and saying they don't need to have these kind of games in the past, and saying how they're kiddie and all that kind of stuff, and nobody cares about games like Banjo, and why did anybody even bother to have something like Banjo on the Xbox? Like, who cares about that and all that stuff? And like say, oh, I won't play on the Switch because all they make is kiddie shit and stuff. And it's like I barely would even have any interest in touch it. Be like, oh my god, this is like the greatest thing on the planet now. Like, this is like, where has this been in gaming? And well, it's been there. Just people have said that these kind of games didn't matter until now, right? So you have that side. Then you have the other side. It's like, well, we still feel that way, and these games don't deserve to exist at all. And these games are shit, and all the platformers suck, and all this kind of stuff. For me, it's like, hey, the game's probably amazing. It probably deserves a lot of praise. I think a lot of other games deserve a lot of praise as well that get ignored. And that's where I'm kind of come from on the whole conversation for that. But like, overall, man, there's been so much crazy discourse about Astrobot. It's kind of nuts, man. But it's been entertaining to watch, I'd say. Anyway, how you doing, Jasper?
I'm doing pretty good. Started a new semester of tech school, so we're dealing with new classes and stuff, learn new things. Continuing to grow, as I like to say now. But other than that, just playing Star Wars Outlaws. That game gets a lot better like the further you get into it. I'm really enjoying Star Wars Outlaws as the story continues and picks up. I know a lot of people are kind of hating on that game, so like I'm kind of wondering if like they just kind of played the first hour or so and kind of gave up on that because I'm really enjoying the part that you kind of progress into that.
Like I saw
And
a lot
then,
of talk, dude, about the like the instant fail for the stealth missions and stuff like that. Some of them early on. It's like a lot of these people didn't play a lot of these stealth games back in the day, right?
It's also like there's only a few missions where like because I break stealth a lot of times. I'm just like screw, I'm just gonna shoot everyone and like there's some missions where you insta fail, but a lot of missions just let you go on and like you have to just fight everyone out.
But that's like the challenge of it is to figure out how to get through it without getting caught, which kind of takes me back, you know. I'm liking the game too.
Yeah.
What else?
And then Space Marine 2. Been playing that. I tried to play the PvE mode, but it wouldn't load. It like kept like just going to a black screen, nothing would happen. So I don't know, maybe it's just my shitty connection here. But I'm like 5 hours in the campaign. I need to finish that, and then I just got a test drive Solar Crown, so got like another gig to download on that, and I'll try that tonight.
Nice. So you actually got it? I'm curious how you're gonna like it.
It's pretty cheap on CD keys. It's like half off. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a little bit more intriguing knowing that. But if I got it, I would get it on Xbox because is the key for Xbox or is it for Steam? I'm assuming Steam.
There may be one for Xbox. Yeah, I just got the gold edition, which was like $50, and usually it's like 90 or 100 or something. So
right. Yeah, I Test Drive Unlimited on the 360. I really liked that game, and Kate really liked it too. She played a lot of it, and that was one of the few games I actually paid attention to the achievements on, and I actually 1,000 Gamer scored it, which I don't ever usually pay attention to achievements, but I just realized I had played so much of it and unlocked so many because I was playing the game so damn much. I was like, I might as well try and finish this out, and I actually did. So, but that game was massive. I remember they had the one race where you had to drive around the entire island, which took like hours. So like that was a really good game, but I think this one for some reason, like just what I've seen is like we'll see. But I really want to know your impressions next time.
I don't know. I just wanted to have like a kind of a chill racing game to play. Nothing like too serious, like nothing like Forza Motorsports where it's like sim racing. Just more of a chill kind of game.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be at least decent, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious, like what you think about it next time we get to talk. But yeah, Warhammer, man. Warhammer is fucking awesome. How much of it have you played?
I'm on, I think, about to go to the third planet.
Okay. We're like in the same.
Yeah, like 5.
I've played a couple hours.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know. I've been taking my time with it though, because like I don't rush. Well, you usually rush through games though.
Yeah, I just don't have time to finish it now. So.
Right. But yeah, like takeaways from it so far.
I feel like the first bit was kind of like slow to start, but like as you go on, like it's like the story's kind of expanding. I'm like kind of learning more of the lore, so I'm kind of getting more of the stuff because like Warhammer, like I've never been into the lore or like the universe, so like the further it goes along, I'm kind of understanding some more things. So I'm liking the story a bit more, and then like you're getting those bigger moments with the horde of aliens where they like start climbing up the walls and shit.
Yeah.
So like those big moments, those big set pieces is kind of just like the main takeaway from that game for me.
Yeah. Right on, man. I was impressed with the optimization on PC. And the graphics are really good. Gameplay's fun. Like it's really hard to find any faults in this game.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a classic.
I want to try the multiplayer. I just haven't had a chance to.
Yeah. Same. I noticed like the people were posting the player counts on this game are like fucking crazy. I don't know if that's because it doesn't have any DRM and people are like pirating it, or if it's just that. But I don't know how the Steam player counts work. I mean, it's got to be purchases on Steam, right, to count for that. I would think so. It's like
people on Steam playing it.
Yeah, it's like 250,000 or something. I saw close to that.
Damn.
Yeah, and I mean that's a lot because before it was hitting into hundreds, like 100.
Yeah, I think I saw like release day or whatever was like 100.
That was for early access.
Yeah.
So this is now like the main release, and it was like over 200 something, which is crazy
I was
for
watching.
Warhammer.
Yeah, I was watching Steel stream the multiplayer a bit the other day, and it kind of just like brought me back to the 360 Transformers games or whatever. I don't know why. It's just like a fun like double A multiplayer game that you can kind of fuck around with. It's like actually decent.
But it's like double A, but with triple A quality. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we see a lot of these games come out where it's like kind of feels like more old schooly, like 360 era, PS3 era kind of games, right? But they're always kind of seem like more lower budget, didn't have like as much time or as big of a team or whatever. This game is like fully featured. It's like graphics are incredible. It's optimized at launch. Like it's just got everything you could ask for one of those games. So I've been like kind of really surprised actually by it, because I was hyped for it, but not like Pong and Steel were, where they've been talking about it nonstop for like months, you know. But like this surprised me when I played it. And if I was to say, even from the amount that I've played right now, it's probably this has a chance to be my game of the year. I got to play through the whole thing and say, but right now it's up there with Dragon's Dogma 2.
I was just looking today, and I just remembered that freaking Dragon Age comes out next month.
Yeah, October. It's like on Halloween, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and I'm getting excited. The more I see of it, I'm getting more and more excited for Dragon Age. So, are you gonna play Dragon Age at launch, Fuzz?
More than likely, I'm gonna at least try to give it a try. But it's because of EA. I'm hesitant, so we'll see how it goes. I'm every time I've bought something from EA, I feel like I've been burned that first month or so because of the day one patch or not having a patch that works kind of thing. So a little gun shy, but I probably will wind up picking it up.
Yeah, right on, man. Like I was looking. Was it on Friday? We were looking through kind of like the games coming up for release, and it's just kind of crazy for September and October. And then November, like there hasn't been a lot of dates announced yet, but like even November has a lot of amazing stuff. There's a couple big things for December, but then it doesn't let up, because January and February is still a lot of great games too. So if you are struggling finding time, Jasper, to finish and play your games now because you have a life, it's just about to get even harder, bro.
I know.
But shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody for being here. Thank you for watching Fun Speculation here on YouTube, or if you're listening after the fact on audio platforms. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all as well. See some awesome names here. Amit Kumar, Why So Serious? Fuzzy's in the chat. Hi, Fuzz. OCD Gamer, Mari. What's up, Mari? There's a Steel Rain. Have you beat the campaign yet, Steel? Have you and Pong beat the campaign? I know y'all have gotten pretty far. I actually stopped watching your stream just because I was like, I want to know how it got to this point. I don't want to learn anymore from what I was seeing, because it was looking like a different game almost than what I was experiencing from the levels I was at. And I wanted to, like, okay, the enemies are different, like the guns and everything is just different. Like, I want to experience that journey, so I stopped watching. But it looked like you guys are having a blast. So we got let's see who else is in here. Calorie, what's up, dude? We got OCD Gamer, Verg Brizzle, Talos Ray, Poison Maniac. How's it going? Let's see, Connor Garrity. What's up, Connor? It says Colt and Mag have canceled their Xbox Game Pass. Is that a true statement, or is that just a random comment? I didn't know if I heard them say that, but maybe I missed that part of their show. Let's see, who else is in here?
Canceled it, but they have it till the year 2027.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to, let's see, who else is in here? E-Rank, Survey. Man, lots of awesome people here. RSJ fan, Thatch, what's up? Boss Mod, Lethal Papa, Brett Bingham, what's up? How's it going? Let's see, Lorenzo Walker with a bunch of pony emojis in the chat. Shout out to you. Nay. Reggie Lee says 9 minutes. 9 minutes of Mark Cerny tomorrow. We're gonna have I might record it just so I can put it on loop in case I run out of sleep gummies. Because I can't. I try watching those like Mark Cerny things before, but like honestly, a lot of the tech stuff is just not interesting to me. Like I want to see what does it do for the games, right? And the last time they did one of these, he stood up at a podium and literally like just talked, and there were slides that popped up, and it was like all like pictures of like innards of hardware and like diagrams of how things work and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And shout outs to Kate for making the thumbnail as usual, because I always thought Mark Cerny looks exactly like Dana Carvey. I just wish he had the personality of Dana Carvey.
Speaking of Kate, I saw she made you like these little taco things last night or tonight or whatever.
Dude.
Those look so good.
Oh, bro. Oh my god. Check out was it Caitlin under XO615. And yeah, so on TikTok she has, or is it Caitlin _fancy on TikTok? I always get her Twitter and her TikTok confused. But yeah, she made, like, if anybody knows birria tacos, right? It's like a kind of like beef that would be almost like pot roast, but it's like, you know, flavored, like Mexican flavored, and with cheese and a tortilla that's dipped in the consomme of the sauce from the and stuff. And anyway, so it's a very popular thing at like the taco joints around here, like the taquerias, and I get them all the time. So just randomly, like the other day, she was like, "I'm gonna try and make birria tacos." I was like, okay, I'll be interesting. So she did the whole like TikTok process and like recorded the whole thing of her doing it. And I will shit you not, they're like exactly like what I get at the fucking taco joints. Like exactly. Like it fucking nailed it. But even better because they were like homemade and like super fresh and everything, and like it just absolutely nuts. So yeah, that was, thanks for shouting that out, because yeah, it was just insane. She made chicken parm last night too. That was really good. There's a TikTok of that one too, I think. Anyway, we could talk about food for hours. But yeah, we got Church Lady Dana Carvey on the thumbnail representing Mark Cerny. That's why Church Lady Dana Carvey's there. Isn't that special? So anyway, we have the PS5 Pro show tomorrow. Do we expect to see any like game footage or anything? Because what I had thought originally when they announced the PS5 Pro is that they would have some kind of like a little showcase thing, right? But this is a technical thing with Mark Cerny. That's why he's there. For Xbox fans, it'd be like if Jason Ronald was standing on the stage, except Jason Ronald is a little bit more entertaining than Mark Cerny, and is better at, I think, talking to a crowd. Like Mark Cerny is like very just kind of, you know, but very smart, great creator in the industry, made great with hardware, done some amazing stuff, right? So no disrespect to him, even though I said he looks like Church Lady. But we're expecting that that's what we're getting is like this 9-minute kind of technical thing saying the journey continues for PS5 or whatever. Are y'all surprised we're not having the PS5 Pro reveal at like some kind of state of play type thing, or like a PlayStation showcase where they can show a bunch of games, or will that be announced tomorrow at this other thing? Because this is also early. This is happening at what, like 10 a.m. like our time, like or 9 a.m. Pacific or something like that. I don't know, Fuzz. I'm kind of surprised by the way the announcement's happening, but what about you?
Yeah, because I kind of figured they would probably show a game or two. I mean, Astrobot is probably going to be one of those games. And I've said it before and got roasted on the internet for it. Probably Astrobot, the newest game, will probably be a pack-in for the Pro. But, you I was hoping that when they show it, they would say something like, "Oh, and by the way, here's the Last of Us, well, not the Last of Us, but like something like
Here's
Ghost of
factions.
Tsushima
Wait,
2
shit.
or it's just something that will show the difference. Like even if it means they're showing an older game, like what GT7 looks like on the PS5 Pro versus the standard. Like if it's able to do the 60 frames and the ray tracing at the same time, and kudos to them. That would be something I would want to see. Um, the tech stuff that Cerny's going to say is fine, but I really want to see if they. Well, I'm hoping that they show some sort of like before and after kind of picture of some of the games that are either currently out and maybe at least one that's in the near future, even if it's just fair game or something like that. But yeah, it just feels weird that it's going to be tech only. But they did this, I think, before with the PS5 because we had that tech demo that I think was a little bit longer than 9 minutes. Whole SSD breakdown that he gave, and the other architecture as far as like game size and how they could shrink it down and so forth. So I'm pretty sure it'll be a similar type thing where he's going through that PSR or PSSR.
People
or
are
something.
calling it the pisser.
Yeah, so we'll get a education on that, but I just want to see the roadmap or some sort of game improvement, and hopefully they show or use GT7 as one of those examples. But we'll see.
Do you think the devs are going to take advantage of the pisser?
Yeah, their first party, absolutely.
Okay.
I would have to say the bigger devs will probably at least attempt it. If it's something that's like as easy, well, I say this, but it sounds silly. As easy as pushing a couple of buttons to like upscale it to the PS5 Pro, they probably will. I mean, devs did take the extra time for the Xbox One X on a lot of the bigger games, and it was always like, hey, it looks visually better on the Xbox One X, and the devs took the time either up-resing to 4K or HDR 4K and other bells and whistles and things like that. But I think they'll try at least, especially if the game is like close to like being able to do 60 and ray tracing or 30 and ray tracing smoothly and stuff like that. I think they'll at least give it a shot, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, there's been someone on Twitter was like, ha ha ha, man, don't you feel like sad or poor that you sold your PlayStation because this game just came out and they're gonna have a PlayStation 5 Pro or something like that. I'm like, what? Like, so before when I sold my PS5, I had said it like on the show, and I said that, well, I was selling it at the time because I was getting a very good value for it and it's collecting dust, and I was hoping that all the rumors are going to be true, that there's going to be a PS5 Pro announcement, and I hope that they give me reason enough to feel like I want it, right? So I also think kind of the regular PS5 will be devalued once the PS5 Pro launches a little bit as far as like resale and all that kind of stuff. So overall, what I'm hoping to see from them is a reason to think that if I decide to buy a game on PlayStation, it's going to be that much better on the Pro than a regular PS5, right? And that's what they need to show. But usually they do that with first-party hardware or first-party games, right? So that's why I expected a State of Play to kind of reveal it, because it would get more excitement and more hype around it. But maybe they have decided not to do that because they don't have the first-party lineup to like for the next year or so, really. You know what I mean? To kind of showcase what it's all about. But like, they gotta have some reason to motivate people to buy this thing. I know third party it's a little interesting because they are requiring developers to support it and the enhancements that it can provide. So in that sense, I'm wondering how much better it will perform than traditional like Series X and PS5 games, right? But the other aspect of it is I still need to have that game that I care about owning on the PlayStation, which the only one that's happened this generation for me so far really is GT7. So what would really do it for me is if they really have some kind of huge update announcement for like GT7 that taking like full advantage of it, all the bells and whistles and stuff like that. But like, if I see you shaking your head, Jasper, you don't think we're getting that? You don't?
I don't think you're getting that tomorrow.
No. What would you think? Maybe they announce this another show tomorrow?
I think what happens is they come out. He has his little podium thing, and there's a blanket over the PlayStation 5 Pro. He uncovers it, and he'd be like, "This is the PlayStation 5 Pro technical presentation briefing," and then you're going to get some bullshit slides that have like, well, first it's going to start out with like, we have 8 more gigs of RAM or whatever, and then he's going to have like a 3.5% boost in the CPU performance, and you're going to get all these numbers, and then you're going to get the fake slides that a bunch of PC game shows do, where they have like, this is a 1.4 times boost over Intel CPU chipsets. So then you're going to get those fake numbers, and you're going to be like, well, what the fuck does any of this mean? Because we have no reference for it. And then it's going to end with them having like a bar graph of like 5 or 6 games where it's like Spider-Man 2 ran at an average of 59.4 FPS on a PlayStation 5. But with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's going to run at 120 FPS average. And it's like, okay, well, we're just taking it from the horse's mouth. So what does this really mean? And you're going to have like 5 bar graphs of different games like that.
That's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what it's going to be tomorrow. But like, I gotta hope, like, because that's not going to resonate with like people that are looking forward to buying.
You may get a screenshot of that doesn't really matter to be like, look, Spider-Man's 1080p or 1440p on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and they'll be like, or on the PlayStation 5, but on Pro you can get a native 4K, and they're gonna have 2 screenshots side by side that look exactly the same.
Or they make the one screenshot like blurrier on
look
purpose.
Like shit.
Yeah. Like this is 1440p and it's like all jagged, like square pixels on the eyes.
480i.
Yeah, it's like a exactly a 480 image or something just like blown up ultra close. Like, look at the detail on this. And here you have the PS5 Pro. Oh, and it's also running at a higher frame rate. Like, yeah, but this is with the pisser on, and this is with the pisser off.
Yeah,
they'll have a pisser on and a pisser off.
Pisser off, it looks like Minecraft. Pisser on, it looks like Horizon Forbidden West.
This is with CPU boost. The developers are going to be able to use this to better optimize their games and stuff like that. I think they'll probably say stuff like that too. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping there's some game footage and they actually go into the games. Like if they do have the slideshow, they go through all the different games and stuff. Like I'm just wondering like how to best represent the margin of improvement. You know, and that's where the graphs come in, Jasper. Like because they seem more dramatic than like actual visual presentation.
Yeah.
Like maybe they'll invite like John Lenneman from Digital Foundry on stage. John, can you present your green bar that's going across the screen here for us, please? Do your Foundry analysis. What's up, Psycho? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Sorry for the late start. Work was fucker today.
Yeah, it's going to be busy tomorrow because the pre-orders are probably going to go live for PS5 Pro.
I don't know. We don't have any placeholders for PlayStation, so we don't know if it's going to go live at all.
That's weird.
Pre-order wise, because it depends on when they release
that's how the series the Scorpio was like. Because I was like on my lunch break when the Scorpio got announced, and I immediately went over to GameStop and I had to wait at GameStop for like an hour for them to get it in their system. They're like, we don't have it in our system yet, so I had to wait at GameStop for like an hour for them.
Usually, it gets uploaded. So we'll see. Because if it's we're in September. If they try to do like in October or maybe if they tried to do it like an October release, we're more likely not gonna have pre-orders. But if they do like a November, late November, we could very well, just to give people some time to save up.
Also,
something.
PlayStation does that weird thing where, like, if you're a 5-star premium member or whatever, you get like first dibs on the PlayStation website.
Yeah. Well, now you don't. Yeah, you got to play games to get those 5 stars there, Jasper. And we know that half these people out in there in Twitter land don't play games, so they're probably sitting at 1.5 stars.
What is the likelihood that this is going to be over $600 for the base version?
Oh, 100%. It's going to be $700
for the
all day long.
For the digital or for the disc?
Disc drive one.
Okay, so that's what I'm wondering for the base version, like a discless one.
If they do probably $650.
So you think it's $650 and $700?
Yeah.
I see the internet's hovering between around $600 and $650. Some people are all the way up to $700, even for the digital. Like I've been around $650 before, but like if they're trying to get a reasonable, it would be $600, but I don't know.
It depends on what they did. If they just upgraded the GPU and added a couple gigs of RAM, then I can't see it going over 7. But if they really did, we all know that CPU is going to stay the same. It's the same CPU that they're using right now, overclocked. So they're probably going to overclock that and not overclock the GPU. How it was variable for the PS5, they're probably going to turn off that variable software and then just have the CPU overclocked. That's how they got their 15% extra boost mode for the CPU. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like this thing's probably going to be maybe a 20 teraflop console, if that. It's not going to be fucking anything crazy. It's not going to be a 4090 like some of these yahoos out here are stipulating. It's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You ain't going to get it a 4090 in a $700 console. Y'all are smoking.
How much is a 4090 alone right now? Just to buy a
2000?
Like 2000, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just for the card alone, right? Like,
yeah.
So to have a PlayStation create something equivalent to that, even if it was like with AMD, or because they still partner with AMD, right? I think.
Yeah.
So it'd be an AMD. So it wouldn't be like a 40. It'd be closest comparison that AMD has would be a 7900 XT, right?
Which won't be that. It's probably gonna be a 68.
Which that's over $1,000, I think. Still is for the 7900
yes.
XT.
Yeah, that's $1,000.
So it's it may be wishful thinking to be just a 7900, right?
I don't even think that.
So
that's $500 right there.
Yeah, that's what I have in my PC.
I truly think it's gonna be like a 68 XT, maybe customized, and this way they can get some boosts out of it. And I think the biggest thing will be, if they do upgrade, it'd be the RAM, because the RAM is where a lot of these games been bottlenecking with this generation, because we see that 16 gigs is just like that base, and they're barely getting these games running even at like recommended specs from PC. So I'm thinking if they do an upgrade, I believe that they're gonna go like how the One X, how they upgraded the RAM from whatever it was 4 to 12. So we'll probably get another 8 to 10 gigs of RAM in this thing. So this way it'd be like around 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah, I just think people's like expectations are a little crazy. I think sometimes for these.
Yeah, wasn't the leaks like they didn't add any more RAM? They just increased the speed of the RAM to like 1800 mega transfers per second or something.
Yeah, and
where usually it was like 10,000.
When are those leaks from too? Like those could be outdated. Like for all.
Yeah, they were like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so like things.
But then like the like the leaks that just came out like last month or whatever, like was pretty much saying the same thing.
Right.
So if it was 2 years ago and this thing went from, you know, drawing board to finished product in 19 months, so are we gonna believe those leaks from 2 years ago? You know what I mean? And a lot of times that if there's anything, that this is dev kits, and dev kits are always overpowered for the devs to be able to make their game and then, you know, optimize and downscale it to, guess what, folks? Fit it on whatever console it is. And then they have to tweak and, you know, lessen the shaders, lessen the resolution to make it work and not crash. That's, you know, that's just what they have to do. And I think I really don't see them coming out with this Ultra Magnus fucking console. I think it's going to be a good console,
if
a nice mid-gen refresh.
More than $600-700, right?
Oh
like,
no!
Yeah.
If it's in the 70, if it's in the 79 series GPU, this thing's going to be $1,000. I guarantee.
And
it.
the thing is, like, the thing that's like, we never know 100% like which is the best equivalent, because they don't have, like, it's not like a 7900 isn't a PS5, or like a 3090 or 4090. Yeah, because it's custom made for the consoles. So like they can do performance kind of like tests to kind of make equivalents and stuff. But like for me, and I'm not a tech guy, I would assume like this would be closer to like the middle range, like last generation cards, to the middle to higher end last generation cards, right? Like that would be
68.
like, that would be like a 3080 maybe
Yeah,
if wishful
if you
thinking,
go
right?
AMD would be 6800.
3080, 3070, 6800, yeah, like something like that. Like I don't know, but like how much is a equivalent to one of those right now? I mean, that'd be far superior to what a PS5 has in it currently. So that would be
Price wise, I think the 6800 is about $300 to buy brand new.
Okay.
And that's a 6800 XT. Because I was looking to see, because I got a 66 in my.
Because you got to think, like AMD, PlayStation, they're looking to be the most cost efficient they can possibly be to get the most performance, right?
Oh, and this is on the board.
And that SSD is fucking expensive alone that they put in the console.
Magical SSD, dude.
Well, I mean, if it's a terabyte, which the rumors are that it's only a terabyte again, right?
Which is crazy.
So how much is that still? That's still like over $100, I think, easy for the kind of SSD they're putting in there. So just between that and the GPU alone, like, I know I'm talking about retail costs, obviously wholesale or whatever it actually costs them to manufacture is a lot less, but
yes,
you would think you still want to try and maximize and make a profit there. Those two components alone are expensive. Then you have this CPU and, you know, all the other shit.
Because I think that if Jasper knows offhand, I think the 6800 is a 20 teraflop GPU.
The 6800 XT it's a 20 teraflop. That's what I was looking at.
So that right there is more powerful than Xbox, so they can get the power narrative they want.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they doing any of the AI shit and stuff like in the?
I don't think that
GPUs
they're doing that.
And stuff, or is that a
I know that like
thing?
It's been a while since I looked at it, but I think like the way they calculate teraflops in the new cards is a little different. So like if you look at the 7800 XT, it's like where was it? It was 37 teraflops. So like the way they calculate that's a little different now, I think. So like maybe if they're using the newer architecture, like they're gonna say it's like 50 teraflops or whatever the fuck they say, but
yeah,
we'll see. But also teraflops really don't fucking matter.
Right, we learned that this generation. How many teraflops? It's like gigawatts. Like there's no like there's so many fucking acronyms and phrases that are used to describe the performance. I always like to rely on the eyeball test, right? And like how good and smooth do the games actually look playing on these things? What, like, for example, like everybody said, oh, like Xbox is harder to optimize for. Xbox is this or that or whatever. But then a game like Warhammer Space Marine comes out that's like optimized and developed first for Xbox over PlayStation, and you see that it has a significant performance advantage over PlayStation right now for that game. And that's, I don't know if it's just because of the engine they're using or what, but
it's closer to PC, so it's an easier optimization. It's not as using customized APIs and for PlayStation right now. So it's for Xbox, they can optimize, they can build it for the PC and Xbox and get similar scores and how it performs, and then really probably focused on working on the PlayStation version, and they probably trying to get their optimization with their GDK, and it's probably really not as close because we all know that the PlayStation's RDNA 1.5, so there's tools that they're not utilizing that are part of PC and what the Series X and S is using. So they're that's why we're seeing a better performance on Xbox at the moment.
Well, also like Focus Interactive is really close with Xbox. They've had a lot of Game Pass deals, and even the World War Z game, which I'm pretty sure uses the same engine, the Swarm engine, and that Saber also makes the Warhammer. So that came to Game Pass, Xbox and PC. So like they're pretty close together. So I wouldn't be surprised if Focus kind of favors Xbox development more than they do PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Honestly, like it just seems like they probably focus more on it. This was what the argument I always make, like with other games, is like, well, PlayStation gets prioritized. 3-bit as a developer has always said this, and in a case where the Xbox gets prioritized, guess what? Well, you see the opposite. For the most part, in most games, it's pretty even. But this is, PlayStation is going to have an advantage with the Pro on those analysis. Every Digital Foundry video that comes out going forward, you're going to have the Series X, and you're going to have the PS5, and then there'll be a whole separate section, for the PS5 Pro. So even something like that kind of, it helps for the marketing of the cool factor of like, oh, this is the best place to play, even if people don't end up buying it, because I think it is going to be pricey. I don't think it's going to do like as good as like a traditional PS5 is doing, but there will be a market for it. Fuzzy, what would it take for you to get a PS5 Pro?
It'd only be about maybe $100 to $150 difference for a trade. But I can tell right now it's not going to be that.
Right.
It's probably going to be a $250 difference for a trade.
Oh, no.
If not more.
We only give $325, so it's
only $320.
Yes,
get out of here.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I'm not paying
$350.
Yeah, I'm not paying $300 difference for incremental upgrade. Like if this was a next gen, true quote unquote next gen console, maybe, but no. I the only game I'm playing on my PS5 now is GT7. So unless there's some miraculous breakthrough that they've come up with, which the best that I could figure would be they could now do the 60 frames and ray tracing, but it'll be like 1080 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That even then, that's not worth me spending $300 more just to get that. I would rather wait and see if they put it on PC, which rumor had it before. GT7 was supposed to be after Ragnarok. So once Ragnarok, I guess, comes later this month or next month to PC, then hopefully GT7 will still be on track for shortly after that. So
yeah, that's the one.
There's no chance.
That's one. If that's announced for PC, that'll be exciting because it'll have ultra wide support for it, probably, and it'll have take advantage of all the other shit that PC has to provide. And it'll be way better than whatever the PS5 Pro probably can come up with. But I am curious, like specifically for me, like it would take some, like I said, a big update maybe for like GT7 or something like that. But then also, I don't want to be wowed, right? You're having this what many deem to be unnecessary kind of mid-gen upgrade that's probably going to be expensive, right? And we'll find out tomorrow, hopefully. I don't know if maybe they won't even have a price reveal tomorrow. Maybe they're going to save that later, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll find out what this thing is. But like, I kind of want to be wowed by whatever they show. And to do that, it really...
Yeah, it has 3 lines on it.
Yeah.
Adidas.
Mark Cerny here. Hey guys, this is an amazing console. Buy it. We'll tell you later how much it is.
Well, like I'm, you know, most of the PS5 exclusives already run at 60 or have a 1440 60 mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm happy with that. I don't need really to be like 4K 120 or 4K. 4K 60 is great, but 1440 to 4K is not a huge like improvement for me enough to justify getting that. Now, if you actually increase the fidelity of the games and maintain like a 4K 60, like if it could run Cyberpunk 2077 or a game like that and make it look like those Nvidia like showcase trailers for Cyberpunk 2077 where our eyeballs pop out of our sockets, right? I'd be like, okay, that's justification there, but I don't think it's gonna do it, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of videos on a lot of tech demos of what this thing is going to do, and we all know that's not the case. It's not probably going to be the case. We're going to get a lot of 4090 like looking videos tomorrow again, I feel, if they do anything like that.
Maybe we'll get like, so what I'm hoping happens is we get this slideshow presentation PowerPoint thing tomorrow, right? And then they announce a state of play or something with another date that actually is going to showcase games that are going to really take advantage of it. And then at that point, unless somehow they convince me tomorrow, at that point, then I'll be able to make my decision. Because Astrobot doesn't get me excited to get another PlayStation. As good as that game is, if I wanted to really enjoy platformers at the most, I would be playing on the Switch more, you know? So it just doesn't excite me that much. It's a game I would probably buy if I had one, you know, to be like that extra game to kind of hop on every once in a while. But it's not something that's going to move me to buy something, right? So we'll see. Third-party games, that's going to be the interesting thing.
They'll play Call of Duty's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but that's the other aspect I wanted to get into. But let me get to some super chats here real quick. Brandon Martin hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, I'm hearing 700 to 800 for the Pro. They are trying to market it as a PC. Good luck, Sony. Well, like that would be funny if they did market it like a PC, because like Mark Cerny's last quotes before when the last time they announced the PS5 was like, we're not interested in making consoles that are like PCs. He actually like said that. He was like, where this kind of like, he said actually it was after, because he said that around the same time that they were doing some other kind of presentations for financial stuff, talking about hardware things. And that was when the rumors were swirling around that the next Xbox console was going to be a hybrid. Right? So it almost felt like, to me, the quote was intentionally like a shot at Xbox, which would be typical Sony style, because what they always do is say, oh, we don't do that. We do the opposite. And then they go and do it. Right? That's just kind of what they generally
double
do.
talk.
Yeah. Alvin hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, PlayStation reveal hopes this year went from PS5 Pro showcase to 9-minute power presentation and rumored third-party state of play. Hashtag no Ghost 2. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima 2 has been on the back of my mind for whenever this Pro got announced. You know, I would think you'd make a bigger splash by like having some kind of a showcase and being like, and it's going to be on PlayStation 5 Pro running like this, and you know, exclusive footage from the PS5 Pro. Like, I feel like that's the best way to sell it. You know, instead, I think that maybe it's going to be like an enthusiast thing. That's just like, okay, for the high-end PlayStation gamers, you want your games to perform a little bit better, you get this thing. But they will sell an interesting aspect here, and I am curious, what is the over under, guys, or what is y'all's? Is it more likely or less likely that they will mention Microsoft or Xbox games will play better on the PlayStation?
Ooh, I don't think they will.
You don't think so?
They're afraid to say that name, so they're not going to say anything.
They won't say Microsoft. They'll just say, and some of our partner developers or partners games will play better on our platform or play better on this console.
Yeah.
I just know
especially Indiana Jones.
I just know how vicious they are, and like I'm trying to think about it, like all the conversation that's been going on with everything about Xbox going multi-plat and Xbox putting their games on PlayStation. And they remember they were like, this is how you share games and all that stuff. They didn't mention Xbox at that time. But now,
what they could do, like along those lines, would be like the best, most played popular first person shooters are now going to be played greater on our console, and just like not even show Call of Duty, show like Killzone or some shit.
Or what they could do is they could say games from our partners like Ubisoft, like 2K, like EA, like Activision Blizzard, like ZeniMax Bethesda, right? They could say like, we'll play best on the PS5 Pro, for consoles or whatever, right? I can see them skating by, because I mean, look at all the games that are going over there that they have that are already there as well. Like it's Doom: The Dark Ages. They could literally have like some kind of thing where they talk about Doom: The Dark Ages running on PS5 Pro. They could talk about fucking Indiana Jones. Then tell everybody that it's going to run best on PS5 Pro. And that's, I mean, to actually stick the kind of like nail, or just kind of stab Microsoft a little bit, like that's just their style, man. Like I don't know, like they seem to know what the conversation is all the time, and they know how to take advantage of it.
Do they though? Because people have been asking for a showcase for like 3 years.
Well, but that actually takes effort on their part of actually doing work and actually putting stuff together, other than them actually just going out and saying something that's a lie, or saying something that they know is going to cause a reaction, right? Remember, like they sat up there and said that PlayStation has always been about these first-party, third-person action narrative-based games, when they're talking about the history of PlayStation and like them, what kind of games they make. Like that's bullshit. Like I think it was Herman Hulst that said that, and like his games that he made was like Resistance and shit like that back in the day. Like that's not what they had made. Concord, they tried to make it, that failed. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they show, how they're gonna do it and stuff, and how they're gonna market it. And I don't know, I feel like they're gonna try and take advantage of the fact that Xbox isn't gonna have a mid-gen, and their games are gonna be on PlayStation. Like this is the console to own, right? I think they know that the conversation's out there. I think they're going to try and put the nail in the coffin.
They can try, but I don't think they're, because the next Xbox, they'll come right back and kill them, and then like, well, what? And then who knows if they can even touch them if they really do what they are thinking of doing. Because then they're like, well, this is the enthusiast box. Pay it, get the best console. If not, that's fine. You got PC, you got this new handheld, and I think that's where they're gonna. So I don't know if Sony's gonna have the balls to do it. They might, walk the line. Do like a vague, like you guys were saying with the whole our vendors. The game's gonna be played best, and we all know what is coming to the PlayStation. So you don't have to. We know we can connect the dots, with that. So it's one of those subtle jabs, but it is what it is. But We'll see.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I don't know if you saw. I was asking Pong. I was like, so what do you guys think? Xbox is gonna fucking answer back with because they're supposed to make other hardware announcements this year. So will they wait, see what this is, let the dust settle, and then here's our announcement, or do they wait for the VGAs and just announce it there, where they have the most eyes, anyways? So this way it has the most impact. But again, will it be enough to have these other, who's watching? You're like, yeah, I might get whatever this is.
Yeah,
I think VGA is a good spot.
That's what they did before, But man, like Keely's gonna cringe. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like at this point, I know he's happy with the Xbox's direction of like going multiplat, but he would hate PlayStation if they did that, right? But if you had Keely up there and you have another announcement for hardware, like he's just not going to be excited whatsoever, and it's going to come across. I think. I wish.
Here's the next Xbox, guys.
Right, and an announcement from Microsoft. Ooh, an Xbox handheld. How interesting. All right, next we got PlayStation with the most amazing shit I've ever seen before in my life. On the PS5 Pro, we have Uncharted 4 Remake Remastered Edition Part 3. Oh my god, here to talk about it is my friend Troy Baker. Come on, hey Troy, I know you're about to have another game come out next month called Indiana Jones, but let's talk about this game that you have working on for PlayStation coming out in 3 years. Let's sit there and talk about that, bro. Like, thanks, Jeff. I'm excited to be here. Talk about my games for PlayStation. It's just that generally what happens, like he just sounds so uninterested and like he could give a shit, but here's my friend Kojima. Oh, we're not going to talk about the Xbox project. We're going to talk about Death Stranding 2. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. We're talking about his podcast. He even made it when Kojima was like, said he had other plans for the future. You remember he had him on or whatever, and like had this little sit down thing with him, like this little interview during one of his like game showcases, and like Kojima was like, yeah, it's going to be different. I have different plans for the future that are going to be different for everybody. And like Keely's like, yeah, it's going to be an adjustment. Like it's like saying goodbye to his dear old friend or something like that. Like it was just really weird. I don't know. I mean, the Game Awards obviously have a huge audience, so it'd be a lot of eyes on it. But does Keely's lack of enthusiasm take away from an announcement? Even with all those eyes, it's like,
I mean, you got to deal with them one way or another. I guess the big thing is overload his show with Xbox advertisements, hardware and games. Maybe another, not stealth drop, obviously, but something that is going to be early next year, aside from Avowed kind of thing, or handheld. Oh, and here's a peek at what's after the handheld. I like the way they did the Series X, but yeah, he'll be a party pooper. If they want to get ahead of him being a party pooper, make it $100 less than the PS5 Pro.
Well, if it's a handheld that they announce, like I don't think
the handheld. If they do between 300 and 400. That's an easy win for them. If it winds up being between 400 and 500, it'll still be very competitive in the PC handheld market. Just hope that it plays the console and PC games on the same device without having to, stream it or something like that kind of thing.
I mean, I think the earliest we see actual next gen hardware from Xbox is 2026, right? So for me, there's no way that this video game awards, the Game Awards, are going to have a next gen Xbox show like we're showing. It's just way too early. They only usually do that a few months ahead of time, because you're talking about like a year or 2 years away at that point.
The Xbox One X, the Xbox One X with the Scorpio, that was almost 2 years because they announced the Xbox One S and X at the same time, and the S came out like 6 months to 7 months before the X. So I could see them, talking about next gen a little early, and then with the Series X, I think they showed it in 18 or was it 19?
They showed it the year before it came out.
Okay.
So because
that
was
one
like,
was only 1 year out. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, they won't show next gen at least a year out because
yeah,
the shell and everything can kind of change. So like they don't want to like get someone's like hopes up or whatever.
I mean,
anymore.
unless they actually have next gen coming out in 2025, which I don't think is going to happen. So, but I do think if there is hardware, there's a chance it could be a handheld. Because that would fit in with what we talked about before, kind of crossing that generation gap a little bit. And
if it's there, they'll show it, but it won't be out till like November or next year.
how much would if a handheld launched at the same time as the next gen Xbox, to not have it like issue like down the road, like as far as like playing native games the entire generation and stuff, like how expensive would that handheld have to be? You know what I mean? To be as powerful as the biggest leap ever for gaming for the next gen console. Like, even if you did a SKU like Series S and Series X, like a Series S handheld, like this generation, if it came out around launch, like a 2020, like that would have been really expensive.
Like $1,500-$1,200, yeah.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm thinking like, just cost wise and efficiency to make a handheld is just more expensive because everything's more expensive the smaller it is, right? So to have it parity wise, you would want it to be somewhere around a Series S or a little higher to be affordable enough to be worth being a good handheld for people to purchase, right? And then, but that's not, you don't want that to be your next generation device because you want the next generation to be really, really, really powerful and like push things forward. So
I feel like with like the way the current console market's kind of set up, I feel like having a handheld that's that low powered compared to like whatever a next gen console would be, like the way devs design stuff for consoles, it has to work together with everything, and they're just going to be extra bitchy about not wanting to make stuff for Xbox if it's a handheld and then a powerful console. So you have to separate the handheld into its own market somehow. So you can't just have games.
But that's why you do it
natively on. Yeah.
But that's why you do it like cross generation kind of now. Like if you come out with a handheld now, right? It's going to play every game that's come out this generation, and it's going to play games, cross-gen games, the next generation for as long as those games still come out for Xbox One, or I'm sorry, Xbox Series X and S, which will probably be years into the next generation, right? So if you come out with a handheld, let's say either this year or next year, then that would last you probably 5 years before they do another upgrade on a handheld device, right? And if it's just part of the ecosystem, it's just an option of another place to play your games, and they always keep that option there. But you're able at that point to offer it at a reasonable price and have a good power spec, right? Performance spec. So I don't know. That's what I think they should do. Otherwise, you're looking at $1,000 handheld at launch next generation, and like I don't see how that's going to do anybody any favors.
Well, I think they go with the idea that, like what you're saying, price it somewhere around $400. But I see a dock being sold separate, and a dock being like an extra 100, 150. That would make it closer to a Series X than a Series S kind of thing, as far as visuals. But power output wise, that's like the trickiest part, because even making a portable Series S now is still going to be close to 600, if not more. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But that's why I'm talking about the problem. Like, can you imagine they have that for like next generation at launch? Everybody's talking about next gen at launch. They're gonna have a handheld and the super premium thing. well, if how much is the handheld going to be at that point? You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to be able to run next generation games the entire generation. Otherwise, if it's not powerful enough, everybody's complaining about the Series S this generation. You're creating even a bigger handicap next time. You know?
See, I'm thinking the next generation is not going to be as much about power as it is going to be about efficiency. I know what Sarah said. It's the biggest technological leap, but I think a lot of that is going to be AI doing heavy lifting for upres or for like DLSS equivalent type work. So I think that's going to be like you could have this year or this generation's equivalent of the GPU portion of the APU, and then the AI aspect, the AI chip doing the other brute force work to kind of get it so that way you're taking a 1080 image, up-resing it to 1440 or 1440 image, up-resing it to 4K, giving it the sharpness and all the extra bells and whistles and things like that. I think that's where most of it's going to be, and then they'll add more memory, which is a cheaper add than doing a beefier GPU on the APU part of things. So I think you can get away with like a $400 or $500 portable, and then like a standard console being like $600, and all of it still being on next gen and being usable. It's just a matter of if you want that portable hooked to your TV, you're going to have to spend an extra 150 to get the extra boost to it.
I think that separate dock is definitely.
If you want to know like the way that the next gen consoles are going to be marketed, just look at the way PC is marketed now, because like that's the way it was for this console. It was like ray tracing is everything, but PC was marketing that 2 to 3 years before. So like just look at what it's marketed now for the GPUs. It's the DLSS, it's frame generation, it's all that stuff. But that's what's going to get marketed to you for the next gen consoles.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't trust the developers to actually take advantage of all this shit. Like we learned this generation, they just pushed everything into the fidelity, and then it's like we'll optimize last, right? And then they'll complain, "Oh, I hate developing for this thing," you know. Like it's like I don't know. I want it to be like if there's a handheld, I want it to be as successful as possible, because I feel like for them entering like a new kind of hardware space, I don't want them to like experiment with it and like just fucking pull a Concord and say, "Hey, we tried," you know. So for me, it's got to make sense, like cost wise and structure and power wise. And obviously, they know way more than I do. I'm not even a tech guy, but I'm just trying to use like some common sense, like rational thinking with this thing. And
the only thing I think
what's out there
that
now
may hurt Microsoft in whatever their next hardware is they're trying to do that green company bullshit where they're like, we can't have any carbon emissions. So they may actually cut back some of the power just so they can be like, we're a green company.
You remember like the Kinect, they actually took something out of it originally just because it was going to make it slightly more expensive. And then it basically killed the ability for any of the developers to do any of the plans that they had for the thing. And then they all were like, "Oh, we thought we had this like power like actually in the Kinect itself," and they like took it out or whatever. And then they were like, "Okay, well now we gotta like figure out how to make this thing work with our games," and that actually caused like problems. Sometimes they make obviously decisions for cost and like pricing and stuff, but which is something they did with the Series S. I don't think the Series S is a problem personally. But yeah, they had obviously there's a lot of developers want more RAM, right? But they didn't put more because they wanted a certain price point and stuff. So that's always going to be a thing, you know. The handheld is going to be the most interesting device, looking at like what their price point wise and power wise of like how it's going to be. And I think it's real. I think this thing exists. I just don't know if it's the idea that I'm thinking and it actually gets announced this year or next year and comes out sooner, or if it is going to be part of that 2026, 2027 thing. And if it is, then we're not getting a hardware announcement this year at all. for Xbox. Then we'll just have the PS5 Pro announcement, and then we'll maybe revision on the Series X and Series S, like a something else that they can sell or market to say it's improved. But they just had that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what other hardware announcements it could be. Maybe the controller. You know, hey, PlayStation just took $5 extra from everybody on their controller, so we're gonna give you some improvements to the Series Elite controller. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to find out though, because they did say they have hardware announcements this year.
Yeah.
Brett Bingham hit us with a $10 super chat. Says, if the Gen 10 Xbox console is announced at the VGAs, Jeff Keighley withers away like the dude who drank from the false grail in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. It's just like skin starts falling off. He turns into like a skeleton at the end, like the Tales from the Crypt guy. Yeah, maybe. I could see that. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. We'll learn a lot tomorrow from PlayStation. PlayStation's killing it with the news this week. It's kind of strange how they had the biggest failure in gaming history, probably, and everybody's talking about Astrobot and the PS5 Pro. It's magic, man. How?
And I don't even think they had that much faith in Astrobot, to be honest.
You don't think so?
It's like they really weren't pushing it too hard. Like,
yeah, they did. I mean,
I think
they didn't really, right?
They just kind of put it out and it's like, now everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, it's for me, like, I've seen a lot of the footage. It looks like a game that is kind of like paying homage to platformers and PlayStation's legacy. Because a lot of the gameplay clips I've seen, I'm like, okay, that looks like it's kind of paying homage to this game. I'm trying to be nice by saying paying homage, but instead of saying copied or whatever, right? Like, because you can say that about any game, really. Like, how many platformers take the same ideas from each other and all that kind of stuff. I don't really have too much of a problem with that, but I've seen like some parts of Astrobot, like the playthroughs and the clips, and I'm like, that looks exactly like that game. That looks exactly like that game. I mean, I remember doing that in that game. I remember doing that in that game. Even there was one segment where you're having to jump, like, there's rotating platforms, right, with gaps, and then there's like the spinning things on the platforms, and then there's like you jump onto that one.
It's the Mario Sunshine Star World. Like,
so there's
the stars you go into Mario Sunshine.
But what it reminded me of too is then you run it on like what would be like a rolling log that has things you have to avoid. Like, we did that a million times in Fall Guys 2 years ago.
True.
Like, it's the same thing. Like, you jumping on those things, and then you're jumping on that, and then you're rolling on the log, and then you get to the end. So like, I've seen things that look like Fall Guys. I've seen things that look like Mario. I've seen things that look like Zelda, even.
Sackboy.
Like, yeah, like so like there's just like, it seems like inspiration from lots of different kinds of games, which is pretty cool, right? But like, it is interesting to see, like, people are like, this is groundbreaking, but the most revolutionary thing. I think the biggest takeaway is seeing actually a good hardware instead of Nintendo make a game like this, right?
I think honestly, like, I haven't played a lot of the newer Marios, but like Mario, I'm getting like a lot of Mario Odyssey vibes from it, like just from like the sense of like the way they kind of like made like and evolved the platform, or at least on the PlayStation side of things, like the way that everyone was kind of talking about Mario Odyssey in that way, where it's like the 3D Mario's evolving. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just weird that everybody talks about like this. It's just like with this genre specifically, like what we all called this when we saw Astrobot shown for the first time is like, and when it was revealed, it's like, this is going to be candidate for Game of the Year, and we're all kind of joking about it because like the year of nothing that really PlayStation had, and with what we anticipated, what was coming for Concord and all that kind of stuff, we're like, but they're still gonna be in the conversation at the end because they're gonna have Astrobot, and it's gonna be a platformer that all the games media is going to go ape shit over because it's a platformer, right? It's a genre that just people have this affinity and feel like it's better than everything else, kind of thing, right? Then Nintendo nostalgia-ness comes out, and it's also for PlayStation, so you're having a PlayStation platformer, right, come out.
Nintendo's like, hold my beer, and puts out a Mario game they've had done for like 7 years now.
Right. But yeah, it's interesting to see the reaction. I'm sure it's fantastic and stuff. Like we have a game that's like Warhammer Darktide or not Darktide, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 just comes out, and it's like 250,000 concurrent players on Steam, and it's selling well on consoles too, I'm sure, at least on Xbox. And it's also like performing well with optimization and graphics, and it's also like a game that I don't see the media talking about that much either, right? Or celebrating it. I just want different genres as well to kind of get that same level of affinity for it, as platformers. It's cool that you like platformers, but when one comes out, we don't have to act like it's the most craziest thing you've ever seen. It's like kind of strange to me. But anyway, that is what it is. Psycho put in our chat a reminder that James Earl Jones passed away today.
Yeah.
That is a sad one.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's
He's done
legend.
so much.
Yeah, I know, man. And everybody has these different favorites for like James Earl Jones. I think the most common, obviously, is Darth Vader, right? I mean, like Star Wars is the most iconic things ever, and Darth Vader is the most iconic thing ever, probably from Star Wars, and that voice, and
Mufasa.
Then you have the other one that everybody's pointing to is Mufasa, Simba. Which one?
And then the dad from Welcome to America.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. He was the king.
The king,
right? Yeah. This is the king of I forget what country they're from.
I forget too. I can't remember right now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it.
I can't remember. Man, so then you had the king. My favorite personally was Sandlot. I've been sharing stuff from the Sandlot today. Like he was the guy that owned the beast dog that their kids were trying to get in the backyard, and they finally get in there, and he's just like laughing at them because they were afraid of this dog and stuff, and he
wasn't it a puppy or some shit?
No, it was still a big ass dog. It's an old big ass dog, but he was like friends with Babe Ruth. He knew Babe Ruth back in the day, and he used to play baseball and stuff. It's just like I love that movie so much. Like so, that one for me was like my favorite of his. Do you have a favorite James Earl Jones, Jasper? Or are you too young? You too young for this?
Just I guess Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
I did like him in Field of Dreams.
Yeah, Field of Dreams too. Yeah, he was the writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he also used to play baseball too in that, I think, if I remember right. The chat saying Zamunda.
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 Yep.
That's right. That movie was great. I haven't seen the new one. Did y'all see the new one? They did a new Coming to America movie.
It was good that you didn't watch it. It wasn't that great.
They did a new Beverly Hills Cop as well. That one was pretty decent.
Yeah, that one was okay. The one thing I hate about the movie is that it makes me feel old after seeing how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
there was like one picture where all three of them are in the car. Like, you could see the picture of like the original Beverly Hills Cop where all three were in the car, and then the current one where all three are in the car, and it's like, oh my god, they're grandparents.
Especially Judge Reinhold. He's like the most different. Like for some reason, it's like that guy. Like he just looks so fucking different, man. I saw also. I noticed the biggest thing for me was like in Beverly Hills Cop, like he changed his laugh. Like he doesn't. Back in the day, like Eddie Murphy always like, like the big laugh, the obviously kind of like fake laugh, whatever. And in this, he's kind of like got rid of it or whatever. And I don't know why, but I miss that old school.
They put the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, I mean, it was so over dramatic, the laugh that he used to have in the old school ones. Because we watched the first two before, or actually, we watched three. I don't remember if we watched three, but we watched the first two at least before watching the new one. But yeah, man. Oh, by the way, Rebel Ridge movie on Netflix is awesome. to watch it.
I'll have to watch it. I've been watching Ghost Stories on Crunchyroll, the English dub.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. So horrible. It's like so horrible, but so good at the same time. Fucking hilarious.
Alvin with the $2 super chat says, "Rest in peace, Admiral Greer. Hunt for Red October." Yes, Jim Greer. It's one of the Jack Ryan characters from that universe from Clancy. I was on all the Jack Ryan stuff. There's some great people.
Stuff was good.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great people that play Jim Greer, actually. But yeah, let's kind of move on, I guess.
Sorry for taking it down this like dark road, but you know.
I meant to call it out before. It just, we got carried away with our conversation. But yeah, it's a legend, man. Absolute legend. So I won't spend a lot of time on this, but I just want y'all's quick opinion on this because Pong's been having an issue, right? Our good buddy Pong Soul, he's been having an issue with Ubisoft for a couple weeks now, right? He's subscribed to Ubisoft Plus. There's this issue with their accounts and the link and his email and all this other stuff, and he's been trying to get their help for a couple weeks, right? He's been playing tag back and forth with emails, just trying to get them to help him get his account verified so that way he can play fucking Star Wars Outlaws, right? That's why he got it. So he's been dealing with that, and he had his rants on PM and the PM about it, So this week I've been having my issue, not with Ubisoft. This was with 2K. So I bought NBA 2K on launch day, and sometimes these sports games have.
First of all, there's your first mistake.
Yeah. Sometimes these sports games have weird issues, and I can kind of be patient with them because, like, there's in my team mode, like, and they have to load so much stuff. Sometimes, like, server issues, and you get an update and it fixes or whatever. It happens with EA games all the time. It happened to me with college football and Madden, but usually, like, the next day, it can even resolve itself. Some reason NBA 2K25, I played it when it launched on launch day. I played for a couple of hours of my team. I started the career, just did like a short intro to the career, then I started my team. It's kind of my favorite mode to play in sports games right now, is like the Ultimate Team, my team stuff. And then after playing it for like an hour or two on my team, it went to this black screen. And all I have is like on the top right, it's like this little graphic saying like my gamer tag and stuff, but just a black screen. So every time I try and launch my team mode in 2K25, it just launches this black screen. I can't do anything, and I have to shut the game off. So I tried disconnecting my internet. I tried uninstalling the game. Tried reinstalling. I tried installing it on a different Xbox. I tried doing everything under the sun. It doesn't work. I gave it 2 days, just hoping for a little update that was going to fix it. Because sometimes it happens. That hasn't happened. So I submit a ticket, just like Pong did with Ubisoft. And man, like, I gotta tell you, like, customer service for like gaming just kind of sucks ass in general. I don't think it matters which publisher you're working with or what, but this whole thing they have now where you can't talk to anybody or anything, and they just like issue you a ticket and say they're gonna get back to you, and then it takes like 2 days. It's like, where did we get at? Like, how did this happen as these publishers keep getting bigger and bigger and making more and more money and getting so much, and the games become even more servicey? They can become more technical and all these other kind of things where everything is dependent on servers and connections. Where did we get to the point now where you can't actually ever have any quick discourse back and forth and get an issue resolved? Like, it has just gotten out of hand for an industry that is built around customers staying in your ecosystem and staying into your game and playing it. It just seems like a numbers game, and they just actually have lost the plot in general for all these companies with customer service, like especially the big pubs and even platform holders, because Microsoft used to have great customer service. Now they're the same. PlayStation, don't even get started on PlayStation, right? I couldn't tell you anything about Nintendo because I never had to call them or anything like that or deal with them. But
at the end of the day, the reason it's like this is all about money, and the cheapest way is to make an AI chatbot if you're lucky, and then so they don't have to have 100 people working customer support. They just have one bot.
That's my so that you get one bot, and it we weren't able to resolve your issue. So would you like to speak to somebody else? Yes. Oh, here's a blah, blah, blah. Here, check out our forums to see if it has the answer. No, it doesn't have a fucking answer. What do I do now? Oh, you submit a ticket. Okay, you submit a ticket. Oh, hey, we received your ticket, and somebody will be in touch. Okay. 18 hours later. Hey,
and then all they do is post you back to the forums that didn't help in the original place.
Or this is specifically what happens in my issue with 2K. They said, yeah, we received your request and or your information. Like, I sent them a picture, I sent them all the description of what's happening and everything, right? We have notified the proper team. Unfortunately, I'm not able to give updates on this, but thank you for helping improve our product. And in the meantime, we could have a quick. Maybe you could try this as a workaround. And I'm like, I've already done that. And
then be like, here, fill out this survey while you're at it. Let us know how this works.
Right. So I reply, well, the workaround doesn't work. I've already tried that, but yeah, when how do we fix this or whatever? And 18 hours later, thank you for replying to this thing. Your thing has been sent to the proper team. Unfortunately, I'm not able to give you any updates on this, but I understand it's frustrating, but you can't play the game that you bought. But thank you for helping us improve our product. It's been it's been 2 days since that now, and it no matter what I do, it's like you can't fucking play it. So you buy
it. You tried it on another Xbox?
Yeah, I installed it on another Xbox. Yeah, I've done everything possible, right?
Can you launch it with Kate's account and then sign into your account?
See, if I did that, it would work, but it wouldn't work for my account. But that's a good idea. I'll try, because that's what happened with Madden before. But Madden just updates with you get a server update, and then it would fix, right? With this, it's just some reason the connection that they have to my gamer tag or whatever when it's loading my team, I think on their servers is no, we won't. This is not going to load. It gets frozen with the data. So I think on their servers some kind of corrupt data for me, and I don't know how to fix it.
Is it possible to unlink and relink your Xbox account to it, or would that erase your my team progress and stuff?
So I've deleted the reserve space and the cache and all that stuff, but I didn't unlink it on their website. I don't.
That might be the.
I don't know if I can even launch my team without linking your account. You can't even play the game, I don't think, without linking your account. I'm not sure.
Try an unlink and relink.
Unlink.
That's. I'm trying to think, because there was I had something similar happen where it was pointing to the wrong Xbox account or something. It was I'm trying to think, but it may have been Ubisoft as opposed to 2K or something like that. But I had to unlink it and relink it, and then everything seemed to work. But yeah, customer service these days, I used to handle some of the inbound questions and emails and comments and things like that for a automotive website. And originally, we were going to have an expert team of 15 individuals where we could use our knowledge to answer all these tech questions. And then they were and I could see what the writing was on the wall, because they were having to pay us overtime for that. they were like, "Hey, can you make like a some sort of like syllabus or something like that? Like put all of these in like key responses or canned responses and have like a journal so that way we could train some other people." And I'm like, "Oh, so they want our knowledge on file." So they can just have like a call center just read off like a script or something like that. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just stick to updating stuff on the web as opposed to handling the customer service. Let customer service figure that one out. So that team of 15 went down to 2 people, and it was a matter of getting through 2,000 questions and emails daily on a variety of products. Like, you have to understand, we probably had 200,000 products on the site, and we would get 2,000 questions. Some of them were, "Hey, where's my order?" Some of it was, "Hey, does this come in red?" Even though it clearly states what colors the item comes in. But they were like, "Oh, well, I would really like this in red because my Jeep is red," or something like that. And it's like, well, you'd have to paint it or something along those lines. But the company was never really like, in the old days, they would have been fine with keeping that team of 15 plus kind of powering through that. But like, we were now making more profit than ever before. And they were like, "Nah, we only want 2 people on it. And we're going to eventually," like, I heard through the grapevine that they were going to get rid of the call center, or at
Right.
least the customer service aspect of it. And they were going to try to do one of those like remote call centers. Some of them are stateside, some are not stateside. But I was like, our customer base is never going to go for the non-stateside. So they were like, "Well, we need to have like some training form stuff for, or like script stuff for like these call centers, so that way if it's like an order related issue, they can direct it to the customer service like handful of people that they'll wind up keeping." And it just seems like a lot of companies are more concerned with having as few people as possible, making as much profit as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
And as long as the customer is not returning the item or charging it back, it's okay. Even if they're frustrated, and they may not say that they'll never purchase from us again, but more than likely they wind up never purchasing from us again. They're fine with that as long as we don't have, too many people doing overtime, going through 2,000 emails and questions daily, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's been a shit show. and that's not just with the company I used to work for. That's with several companies in similar situations. So it's like, customer service in gaming, I can only imagine. And I remember, without breaking any NDAs, I remember I actually tried to apply for one for Playground. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you would go through like this, I forget the name of the system, but it's like a mailbox system where basically every bug and complaint that a customer has comes to you, you go through it, and it's sorted into, it goes to the devs because it's a dev related thing, even though the question doesn't go directly to the devs, but it gets noted into like whatever patches and whatnot that they'll have to work on. Or it's like one of the simple questions where they already have like a FAQ that you can point them to, like, "Hey, the game isn't working because you haven't purchased that particular part of it, or you're trying to play it on the wrong device," or something along those lines. And then the other bucket is like, "Who knows," kind of thing. Somebody will have to look into it, kind of deal. And I was like, yeah, that's no thanks. I thought this was going to be more like, "Hey, you guys have a ton of people doing this stuff, and it's not just going to be like one person going through however many people are playing Forza Horizon 5 today and have an issue, that many emails come through. So if there's 10,000 people playing and 10% of them have a question, that's 1,000 emails to go through in a short period of time." And I was like, yeah, no thanks. I'll just play the game.
Yeah, it's just like back in the day. Like, I remember Nintendo like had the people you could call to like have help get through the game. Like,
Yeah.
I forget what they called them. And like Xbox has always kind of had the Xbox ambassadors to like kind of get the community kind of help there as well and stuff. And like
I hated that. Once I became an ambassador, I figured out how they do that. I'm like, this is stupid.
yeah, it basically
Like
trying
you
to
just
get you
like
to kind of
they
work
sit on
for them.
you work for them, and then people sit on the Twitter chat feed thing or whatever, like the program they use to like answer replies, and people just wait for the easiest reply to come in, copy and paste one of the forum posts so they can get rewards and get like a $50 gift card from Microsoft.
Right.
Like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah, there's been a lot like of different things that they've tried, but like I remember the Xbox 360 era, as bad as it was with the red ring, and you could get somebody on the phone, like wherever they were in the world. It didn't matter. They actually like would sit there and talk to you, listen to your problem, and then go and like do whatever they fucking got to do and come back and tell you, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. Here's how it's going to be resolved, and this is how long it's going to take, right? But
They'll
like,
send you a cardboard box, you put your Xbox in there, and then you get new ones.
So instead, now the customer service for like Pong, he's maybe going to have to do a second ticket to Ubisoft and try and like, but they say don't do that. So like, what are you supposed to do? Like, and for me, I don't know when this is going to get resolved. Like, I just know the proper team has been notified, whatever the fuck that means, you know? So meanwhile, you just
that
sit
means
there
it's waiting in a queue somewhere for somebody eventually to get a hold of it and
but like
probably just delete it.
Right. So like what's funny though is like a lot of the problems that people have, I feel like, are like 1 minute, 2 minute fix issues, right? Like if Pong would have had his fix the same day if he could actually sit there and just talk to somebody and like they work on it for a couple minutes, you know? Mine, I don't know, maybe they have to like reset like my my profile on their servers or whatever. I don't know what they got to do, but like somebody there's got to know, and it's probably simple. I don't know, unless it's like a mass amount of people having the issue, which I haven't been able to find anything online, so it's like a user specific problem, right? It's just kind of strange that they have gone to this system where there's like really no support. They just kind of expect everybody to find the answers that they point them to, you know. I wish for better for the gaming industry in general. That's my point of this. I'm not trying to just make it about me or whatever. Like, it's just in general, these huge publishers that have gone to charge more for their games, have all this monetization, have all the games are more service based, all these other kinds of things. As all that's happening, as the industry's grown, and as all this has happened, the support actually to the consumer has gotten less and less and less. And for me, that's just bullshit. And I think we as consumers should start calling this stuff out. You know, like, I don't know, like I feel like sometimes people even defend the companies. Oh, you're complaining because you had an issue. Like, yeah, fuck, spend your money. You know, like you spend your money, you want to play something. And I don't think anybody wants special treatment or anything. It's just like if you buy something, you want to be able to use it. So yeah, the game industry in general, especially right now, the two examples I can point to is 2K and Ubisoft. I can't point to every single one because I haven't dealt with every single one, but those two, Pong's issue and mine right now, going on at the same time, similar situation, and basically no help or assistance whatsoever, making things that we purchased or trying to access completely unusable. It's kind of ridiculous for gaming to be that way. It shouldn't be like that. We all probably have horror stories, right, of different scenarios. I remember.
Yeah, I mean,
had one.
I had one with Bandai Namco like a year or two ago, whatever. Where it took me like 8 or 9 months to get a refund for like $150 order because their website charged me twice, and I got 2 collector's editions, whatever. So
yeah, it's like bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know, when you can't have anybody to talk to, it's just the way it goes. Kate says, I don't give a shit until I have a problem. Yeah. Well, you know, it points it out to me. I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Is this the way things are these days? It shouldn't be like this. You know, like I got to give them a chance first. But between Pong and out and me, like this has gotten like out of hand. I would love for more people on social media to like share their stories and not feel like they're complaining. Like share this shit to these companies and not feel like I'm gonna look like I'm a complainer or whatever. Like tell everybody your fucking issue. You know, if McDonald's forgets your cheese on your fucking burger, you know, put it on Twitter. I don't care. Call them assholes.
So Till that 17-year-old gets fired.
Yes. You paid for that cheese. You paid for the cheese, right? If they forget to put your fries in the bag, and you get halfway down the street,
you'll stop complaining because they'll give you like a free coupon for like a shake or something.
Oh, not here.
Okay,
they don't give you shit at McDonald's. Like other places, like some places will say sorry, or like Chick-fil-A, like, oh my god, I'm sorry you had this horrible experience. I'm like, that's cool, man. You just forgot the fries. It's good. You just give me the fries. We're good. We're like, oh my god, this like bring an employee over. How dare you do this to this man? Why did you forget his fries? I'm like, man, that's cool. I just gave me the fries. And they're like, please take this free chicken sandwich thing for next time. I'm like, okay, cool, dude. I'm good, right? McDonald's, they forget something. They're like, why the fuck are you in here bothering me right now? And I'm like, I paid for fries. You forgot to put the fries in the bag. Like, hold on. Can I get some fries? 5 minutes later, somebody brings the fries. They put it on the counter. Here you go.
Better check, make sure it's not saliva and other particles on there.
Yeah, and I was like, if that's the world we live in, it's just kind of weird. It's so like for people that are younger, maybe like you're used to the world being this way, but like back in the day, like in the 90s or in the like it was like customer service like was still an important thing to businesses. And at some point, I think it's because the pay has gotten so shitty for the employees that actually are servicing the restaurants and or places or business. The little guys, everybody is kind of like, you know, being controlled by the huge corporations and stuff. But like, so nobody's like, I understand your job sucks. I don't even want to complain. You got it worse than I do right now, man. Like I'll just fucking forget it. You know, it's like everybody's afraid to complain about stuff. And even for something like these, like Ubisoft or Take-Two, they've like make billions on microtransactions and shit, you know? And it's like, we notify the person. Okay. It's like, imagine going to like,
we have top men on the job.
Yeah. Imagine going to a restaurant and you ordering your food and it doesn't show up. Like, hey, I ordered some food. Can I get it? Let me notify the people. I can't update you on the situation at all. You know,
we'll get back to you in 2 days.
Yeah, then like,
isn't that the bag of food behind you though? Just give me the bag of food behind you.
I'll send you an email.
I can't do that. I have to notify the proper people before I can hand you that.
Yeah, the 18 hours between communication thing is just fucking ridiculous. You can't like communicate anything that way. It's just anyway. So hey, customer service needs to be improved. GTA 6 was delayed or not delayed. I don't know, but there's reports from multiple saying that it was delayed. Jason Schreier saying that he's talked to 6 people that say it's still on track, but it could be delayed internally, that they haven't been notified. So
I mean, I always said since it was announced it's going to get delayed.
Yeah,
it's Rockstar.
It's it most likely eventually GTA 6 will have an announcement of a delay. That was probably pretty likely from the get-go. Will it still hit 2025? Don't know. It'll be 2026. How many delays will it have? We'll find out. Right now, this is early reports and rumblings, but there's really no news, I don't think, on that. I think people are kind of quick to jump on it, right? It's best for me, like when these things, to like just wait for them to say, you know. But yeah, I think everybody. I saw a lot. Everybody being like, I called it, like a million of those on Twitter. And it's like, yeah, everybody called it. Everybody thinks GTA 6 is going to get delayed. It was pretty funny. So when it happens, if it does happen, probably won't be a surprise whatsoever. But
just as long as they don't do like the little yellow note on Twitter, you know.
Oh yeah, no, they'll make this one blue. Yeah,
no, they'll have the purple like kind of shaded thing to like yellowish, like the sunset thing they had for the trailer or whatever.
Yeah, that's what the notes will be on.
Yeah.
We're sorry, but we wanted to deliver the best experience, and that's going to be a year later.
Did you guys see the wait, shit, what was I gonna say? I just saw Kate say something in the chat and it distracted me. Oh, she's talking about the fucking yeah. So yeah, we were at Walgreens yesterday and we like bought 2 things and like they rang up. We didn't realize until after that they were the wrong price. Like, so it was like, do I want to go back in? You know, like for $5 because it was $5 difference, but it's like the principle of the thing is fucking. It's supposed to be $5 less. You know, it's like, do I just like move on with my day? And then they fixed it, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, she could tell I didn't want to go back inside, but I did believe you. I believed you that they were wrong, 100%. Anyway, all right, so let's get on to the last thing that we have for this episode, everybody, and it is. All right, everyone. Oh, wait. Before we actually do tidbits, holy shit. Hey, Lotus, a spree. Hey.
Choo choo, choo choo. Ha ha ha.
Choo choo, motherfuckers. Hey, Lotus, thank you so much. Appreciate the 5 gifted memberships for the community here on Fun Speculation. Every single one of you guys, I appreciate. And hey, Lotus, you rock, man. I appreciate you so much. Let's get into some tidbits, guys. What do we got for this week, Buzz?
Right, the first one on the list is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. People have been playing it through early access, but it's officially released. $69.99 on console, $59.99 on PC this Monday for PS5, Series X and S, and PC.
Every time I get in one of those battles with the little Marines, like I always try to save as many of them as I can. It's like usually just like one that survives, so they all die.
I was not expecting the game to actually look and be as smooth as look as good and be as smooth as it is. What are you playing on, Jasper? Are you playing on your PC?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Is it like a laptop or?
Yeah, it's a 4090 laptop.
Oh shit! Okay, so you game prepared. Be better than the PS5 Pro.
If we die with vengeance on our lips.
The next one on the list is only on PC. It's called Satisfactory, and it's for $39.99. Now, it's been in early access for a couple of years now, but it's going through its 1.0 release. They've had this, I think this trailer here is Update 6, which is one of their more recent ones, but...
yeah, this is like full release now or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like just carry shit around?
It's just a survival game. You
Okay.
just build a base. Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
A lot of grenades.
And what platforms again, Fuzz?
Just PC for right
PC?
now.
Okay. Satisfactory.
All right, this next one is Yars Rising. coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC for $29.99 this Tuesday.
Yeah, it said it was made by Atari. Or
Yeah.
published by them, at least. Yeah, we get it Atari.
A mixture
came
of
from-
classic games and a Metroidvania.
You
Yeah.
think since they've been around for 50 years, they'd come up with something new, but
I mean, it's really, I think it's probably just a different company in general. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the name survives, you know? I think, I don't remember how many times you see, like, Atari sold to this, Atari sold to
Yeah.
whatever, you know?
well, they've been acquiring smaller studios the last couple years.
I think they're trying to get back into legitimate publishing a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see how it does. Here you go, Jasper. Here's your game, man. Test drive Unlimited
Yep.
Solar Crown.
Just got another gig to download.
Series X and S, PC for $59.99 for the base edition.
Look at those graphics.
I know, right?
So real.
No,
Shape you.
Make you.
Is this
tempted
on the
to fast
PS5
forward to
Pro?
the. They wish.
In your step.
Your choices.
Yeah.
It takes a bit before it actually gets the gameplay. Should we fast forward it to the gameplay or?
Stand
I'm enjoying the movie.
where you want to be.
Like what?
Who do
You got to tell me in the DMs, Jasper, if you're actually enjoying it, because I do like have a
make your name
nostalgia for this franchise. Speaking of Atari, Atari is actually the one that published on 360.
You have to choose your side.
I was gonna play the beta of this game or the demo or whatever was out, but I think I just got out of basic at that time or was just about to go, so I didn't have a chance to play it.
Yeah, I did play that, and that's why I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't bad. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It
mean, I
was
wasn't like, I'm honestly not the biggest like racing guy anyway. I just wanted something like a casual arcadey kind of racer to play. And
yeah, you'll probably have fun with it. Sure.
Yeah.
I think you can get out of your car and gamble and shit.
Yeah. Now this is the graphics here.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be playing on 4090, so we're cranking everything.
Yeah. They did
Ray
crash a few
tracing
times.
everywhere.
Kratos99 says, man, I have never seen a podcast hate on PlayStation so much. Man, you're missing some. There's a lot of podcasts that shit on PlayStation way more than we do, bro.
We literally just praise Astrobot like during the show.
I think it's because I'm making the PS5 Pro jokes.
Yeah.
No, it's jokes, bro. Jokes. I might buy a PS5 Pro. We'll see.
My gut's telling me you're gonna wind up buying one and then selling it and then buying it again just before the PS6.
Probably that's be my style. That's what I do a lot. I understand if you're offended, Kratos.
Yeah, his identity is tied to the platform, so
Test drive.
no, but like being out of like the whole like kind of scene for a little bit and just being primarily PC, like seeing all the console war shit, it's so freaking cringy now.
It is hilarious, yeah. And like it was all the dialogue going back and forth with Astrobot. People are like angry that people like it, or that people are like angry if you criticize it or say that it's not crazy special or something. Like also like people get in their feels, man.
Yeah. All right, this is Wild Bastards coming to PS5, Series X, Series S, Switch and PC for $27.94, currently on pre-order sale. It's Thursday.
Let's get to work.
Normally $34.99.
Yeah.
I'll let the Lord
Yeah, I've been
know
seeing some
when it
gameplay.
was
This looks
coming.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just Roz is fine. Feeling good about this hand.
Pleasure doing business. Over here, fools.
Let us begin.
Isn't that guy in the front?
This should be fun.
Not anymore.
That's why he's in this game. He
He got a new job.
transferred.
And that views. In session.
Luckily, he had a second gig, so yeah.
He got in the new job placement program.
Oh, it is a PlayStation game.
No, it's on.
Or
It's
at least
on
on PlayStation.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on everything.
Yeah.
All right, this is Funko Fusion coming to PS5, Series X, Series S, and PC for $59.99.
Darkness. There is power. Real power.
How does
Actually,
Funko
surprised-
afford to make so many fucking Funko Pops, man? That like just sit on shelves.
Take your crown.
Well, the thing, I remember like at one point they had so many that weren't selling. They just had like a massive warehouse full that they just threw them all in the trash.
I know, it's so crazy, dude. Like everywhere you go, you just see like for every character that exists almost has a fucking Funko Pop.
We'll have infinite.
And there's like 10 versions of every single one.
Mm-hmm. Then there's newer versions that glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Or safe now.
But I have like 7 Funko Pops in here. I buy them.
Just surprised it took this long for them to make a game of them, considering how
Yeah.
popular like Lego games are and stuff.
I mean, I don't know what kind of game this is, but it could go crazy if it's like the Fortnite thing where you just get skins of your favorite characters and
Mhm.
keep them worlds.
What if they made you have to buy the Funko Pop so you can scan something and it puts your character in the game? Like amiibos or whatever?
Yeah.
That would definitely be different.
Ah! Rick Grimes. This is all this random. Look at these fucking characters. Funko Fusion. See, oh look, there are Funko Fusion guys.
All right, this next one is a real short one, but it's Slender, The Arrival VR. $29.99 coming to PSVR 2. This
I think this
Friday.
game originally came out in like 2008 or some shit. This is
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
what
And that
happened?
was it.
Oh, that was it?
That was it.
That's just how it
Yeah.
ends? How it,
Yeah, they only have like a 12-second video of it
what?
out there.
That was the ending of the thing? Like, is this supposed to
yeah,
be
Slender
scary?
got him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a scary game.
Yeah, I know, but
It-
like the trailer, like I was hoping something was gonna happen.
Just, yeah, it's. They try to make it somewhat scary, but. I don't know.
So yeah, that's the Slender for PSVR. So we got Slender, we got Funko Fusion,
Mhm.
Warhammer,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Yeah. Satisfactory, finally getting released or a full release.
Wild
Yars
Bastards.
Rising.
Yeah, and VR's
Yeah,
Rising.
Wild Bastards.
And then Test Drive.
Test Drive.
Yep.
All right, that's not a horrible week.
No.
I'm a little interested in Wild Bastards. I'm actually interested in Test Drive, but not too much. I like it's one I don't want to pay full price for, if that makes sense.
That's why I got it on
Yeah.
CD keys for like half off.
Smart man. Is anybody in the chat playing Test Drive? I saw that some of y'all saying that servers are having issues. Razor says
Oh,
TD
great.
is
I
still
know.
having server issues.
Doesn't
Yeah.
come out to 12th.
That thing
You
is-
get
Brett-
the
It's been
premium
early.
edition. You get like
Deluxe edition or gold edition or something like that.
Yeah, it's an
I,
early
I
access.
say give it a like if you haven't purchased it yet, unless you get like the deal kind of like what Jasper got, where it's like half off and CD keys. Just wait a couple of months. They'll probably do some patches. I'm hoping the mod community adopts this game, kind of like the way they've done with Assetto Corsa. They do that, this game will live on for a long time. It has so much potential. The map looks great. The physics, it is what it is, but I'm pretty sure mods can kind of work on that. But just some UI stuff needs some rework, and let them add some more cars, and it'll be great.
Do you think this game will last longer than 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, it'll definitely last longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, 2 years, it really depends. It depends on, as long as they stay on that roadmap of additional content and stuff, they'll be good.
That's my bar now.
I think
2 weeks is like the shortest I've ever seen a game actually cut off. So
Well, the next one we got to look forward to for that type of timeline would be Fair Games. So we'll see how well Payday 3 knockoff does. So
oh yeah, speaking of
I'm hoping they. I was going to say I'm hoping they go back to the drawing board and make it like Grand Theft Auto 5 heist or Grand Theft Auto Online heist. If they go more that route than the Payday 3 route, where you can have houses and cars and clothes and all that, then hopefully they'll survive.
yeah, it seems like a cool idea. It's like expanding upon what Test Drive was before. You got to get the core elements right, which is not even Test Drive Unlimited wasn't like as good handling wise as some of the other ones, but they did a good job with it was like really the first like car open world multiplayer, multiple people online always and stuff game. So it was really unique, and it seems like they're really taking that concept and kind of trying to build upon it. But yeah, if they're having server issues, then that completely is like a killer for that kind of game. So hopefully they get that fixed. One other quick thing: did y'all see Call of Duty is not going to have campaign early access? I saw this,
Interesting.
and I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody gets to play the whole thing at the same time. That's the way games kind of used to be. I'm not one that's gonna like. I think it's like Dan Stapleton on IGN who just like every time a game has early access, he like flips out. I don't really care that much, but I do kind of miss the days where there's just like one launch, or
I
something.
mean, the good thing about them doing that is like you get to experience the campaign and then you get to play the multiplayer without having to try to jump between the two. I mean,
yeah,
but
it's true. That is true. But people can also just hop between it if they want.
yeah.
No, I get it. I get it though. Like, hey, you want to be part of the multiplayer thing, and you just play fucking multiplayer all day, and don't worry about the campaign that you want to play, and all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, it is interesting. Like the early access thing has kind of changed the way games launch. Kind of takes away that like excitement sometimes, because like look, Warhammer, right? It's crazy.
Pay an extra $30 or whatever, and you get to play.
Yeah.
5 days early.
So the numbers were already crazy on Steam. So you're already like, hey, this game's already ultra successful for the people that paid it early and everybody's playing. Then all of a sudden, then you jump in later because you paid less, right? So it's like 2 launches in a way, or like it feels like the premium launch is the actual launch, and then it feels like you're a lesser than launch if you paid normal price, right? But that's just the way it is. I don't really care too much. What were you oohing about, Psycho?
What Jasper said.
What did Jasper say?
I said you pay like extra $30. You get to play
Oh.
like 5 days early.
Yeah, that's what Psycho sells. That's his thing. He's like, hey, would you like to get the premium edition for $30 more? You get to play 3 days early.
You sign up for a pro membership now, you get no more magazines because Game Informer shut down.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're giving coupons though, bro.
What kind of coupons did y'all give for that? I was curious how y'all were gonna handle that.
So we're now I'm seeing like it varies month to month. Like this month it's 10% off your entire order. Last month was 20% off. Your
so it's like a
memory solutions.
coupon subscription, basically.
No, well, no, but you get
But you get a coupon a
you
month.
well, some of them sometimes it's a couple coupons. It
Right.
just depends on
Ooh,
what you if
Coupon.
you're
fancy that much.
if you had Pro and you use it a lot, the more coupons you get. If you barely use it, they give you
Yeah.
some, but it's all right. I was kind of hoping that they dropped the price a little bit, but
You're not selling me. How is this a GameStop employee? You're not selling me a GameStop Premium right now.
hey, but if you buy a game, you get $10 off right now, so it's only $15, and
Oh.
it's a great value, and you rack up your reward points, and you get the $5 off each month, and you save 5% on everything but digital currency. You should get it because you get 5% off currency too. So let me sign you up.
There you go. You know what y'all should do at GameStop? You maybe should talk to GameStop ownership. What y'all should do is next month for the GameStop Pass, whatever the fuck we call it now, Pro Rewards.
Yeah.
Have a $5 coupon for PlayStation controllers.
Right? Yeah. No, it's quite funny because now with our what caused our policy change with the warranties is because I believe it's because of PlayStation and because of how often they get stick drift. And when I say how often, I mean it. If you got a controller that lasts longer than 3 fucking months, congrats, you have a unicorn.
Yeah. My fucking Xbox controller got every single Xbox controller I have has gotten stick drift also.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've had so many problems with Xbox controllers.
The potentiometers that both these companies use, they're service to service. They're gonna wear out. It's just how often you use it. The more you use it, the quicker stick drift's gonna happen.
I think I had 8 back home where I would just if something broke, I would just take it apart and then put it in a new controller. And I had like a Frankenstein controller of 8 different controllers put together in one.
Yeah, this one just started when I was playing Warhammer. So this one it seems like it's gotten worse. Like actually last generation into this generation. Because I feel like the 360
I went through 3 controllers.
And I played like a wild man. I had no life. I was fucking playing 12 hours per day, at times when the 360 first came out, like Halo 3 and all those games. I would sit there some of the no lifers that fucking play Call of Duty and just fucking unlock every gun on day one, and it's, you know what I mean? I was playing games like that. And I went through maybe 2 controllers, and it wasn't even all because of stick drift. It was sometimes the bumper started to stick or the A button was sticky.
I will say the first Xbox One controller I had, the Day One edition that had Day One 2013 on it, that one lasted me so long that the rubber on the grip started wearing off. I was like, oh, I gotta get a new controller.
but now it's for some reason every started at Xbox One, every controller I own ends up getting stick drift, and I don't know if it's my thumbs have just gotten so fucking fat that I was start putting more pressure on it, or what? What happens to where I all of a sudden they all get stick drift?
It's the clicking, it's the using, it's your first person shooters, and again the potentiometers that they use are not the best. That's why I'm hoping that they get away from standard potentiometers and go with Hall effect switches with the Series Elite 3, and this way no stick drift. You can, if you have a no stick drift controller, the last thing you should worry about is if people are going to buy more controllers, because if you have special edition controllers, I just bought the Sky Cypher controller the standard Xbox controller. That's that translucent blue one.
Mhm.
GameStop, we just got them,
My-
and I bought it. But
I don't
if they,
I don't think my Xbox controllers have lasted long enough to get stick drift because the fucking right or left bumper just falls off. The fucking bumper quality.
yeah, the elites, for whatever reason, they need to make those mechanical as well, and not use a plastics like hinge to make it, because that plastic's it wears out and then just becomes useless. I have a elite in my right bumper, so I just use the back paddles as my RB, just for that reason. So I'm like, well, I might not be able to use it, but now I was like, I'll use the fucking paddles for something. So, but it's one of those things that I think they need to get away. Either either if they don't go Hall effect, do a modular system, kind of like what the Pro Edge did, and
Where you can replace just a
actually,
part.
yeah, and actually, fucking have modulars. Sony has. I've worked at GameStop for about a year. Since the launch of the Edge, I'm not even fucking kidding you guys. I've had five fucking modulars at our store.
Oh, like
that is
actually
it.
in stock?
or actual just 5 sticks.
5,
total.
6, 5 total. I put special orders in. They get denied because they don't have any. Sony's not making them. And I'm like, and then we have to either, someone buys warranties, they have to fucking warranty out. They just stopped the warranty, I think, on the Edge and the Series Elite controller because they're way too high priced to, for the warranty companies. I guess they don't want to cover it or something. I don't know what the fucking case is, but yeah, man, it's fucking stupid. And these companies make way too much money to use penny fucking potentiometers. They need to, Dreamcast use Holofix switches. I mean, come on,
Hey,
guys.
happy 25th anniversary to the Dreamcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, 9909.
Yeah,
yesterday,
great
technically.
console. It's like almost every game was fucking great on that thing. But it's gone, and maybe it's because their potentiometers were too expensive.
No, it was the fact
No,
that
it's
people they could rip
You could
their
just
games
copy
on
disc,
Steam.
yeah.
All right,
That's what killed it.
let's get everybody out of here. Psychonauts, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for coming by. Sorry I was late. Work, got in the way. But hey, I finally got here and spent some time with my brothers. It was a great time. Love the conversations. Ponies, shut the fuck up. You can find me on social medias and my name's Psychonauts8.
Right on, bro. Thank you, sir. Fuzzy
Yes, sir.
Belvedere. What about you?
Always awesome being on here with you guys. Love the conversation as well. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for showing up. Don't forget, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate it. Those that want to hear my rambles and rants, anything gaming related, just follow me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on Breakfast with Boom, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday on Double Barrel Gaming. Fright Night with Ferocious Fee on 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ferocious Fee's channel. And then right back here for Xbox Ultimate Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys here.
Right on, bro. Thanks, Fuzz. And Jasper joining us from his space office.
Yeah, yo. You can check me out, Lord Jasper Twitter, all that fun stuff. And it's always great getting back to do the shows with you guys. I wish I could do it every week with you. I miss doing them, so it's always fun when I get to.
Yeah, man.
Was that your bunkmate that we saw earlier?
Yeah.
Little cameo right on, man. Well, hey, everybody, we will be here for Thursday for PM in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday, Xbox Ultimate Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Time as well. And I hope you all have an awesome night and lots of awesome stuff to play. Enjoy some of the games. I'm going to be sending an email to 2K. Have a good one. Bye.
Nav, you're not going to air the